Yo, quick edit in. Uh, so after I finish the survey, I mean, like I'm editing this and like right after the survey, but uh, I had started reading the story. I was like, I didn't get too far in actually. I was, let me actually get over here. I was like probably already close to the end of reading like the first chapter, and then halfway through I had like moved my mic, and my mic had it cut off, so I went completely silent. So I had no clue, and I was like basically reading to myself. So we're gonna go again. We're gonna read it again. It's no biggie. So yeah, there is that. I just wanted to quickly drop that info as an FYI. It shouldn't take too long to read and whatnot. Like, again, these are like fairly short. Uh, anyway, so it's all good. But I need to do better on my part to like keep an eye on my mic, especially since it's been acting kind of weird lately. I tried cleaning it, so it should be fine. I tried moving it around, and it's not cutting off or on again. I mean, but who knows? Maybe, I don't want to jinx that. But anyway, let's get started again. A leaf on blood-stained water. Let's reread this again.
How long will I stay this time?
Girl carries a basin of bloody water. Following behind the woman, water pushes in from all sides. A leaf wavers in the water, moving with everyone's voices, never knowing which side or which way it should flow. Just like being shoved around by a crowd. She's got nothing to do with me. She's just a stray. Crowd stands as sullen as gravestones, eyes peering out from lowered brows, as if keeping their gaze down might let them slip past disaster. Like lambs casting their eyes away from the butcher, hoping that by looking away they might be spared. At the foot of the execution platform, the man weeps in a mess of snot and tears. Where is she? Bring her over and let me see. The man who looks like their leader waves his broad hand. From outside the crowd, a massive figure carves a path. Not one figure, but two men stitched together, escorting a girl whose hands are bound behind her back, drifted in and out of consciousness. Her steps are heavy, her cheeks are scraped with dirt, and her brow furrows as if holding back pain. Two men's faces are bruised and swollen. Their weighty steps fall uneven, adjusting to their newly matched limbs. Haha, bring her over. Stagger toward the platform. The crowd parts, then presses in again, like grain parting in a sieve. Gathering cannot help but sneak in a few curious glances. Move. The Stitch Man flings the girl onto the platform, writhing along the ground. She eventually worms herself upright. She props her head up, lifting her dirt-streaked face to meet the eyes of the bandit chief with a glare. Where are her fingers? Here. One of the stitched bandits hands the chief a dripping red bundle. She used these two fingers to stitch you together, unwraps the cloth and pulls out a finger, grinning at his two men as if watching a comedy. Yes, boss. She crawled out from the paddock behind the tavern. Told you to watch that paddock. And we got stuck together. Chief squats down, facing the girl. All trace of his grin disappears. Separate them. The girl stares coldly at his face, silent. Oh, is she mute? Turns toward the man cowering on the ground. No, she's not. She can talk. But I'm not gonna do... But I got nothing to do with her. I don't know why she was in my tavern. Girl turns her head toward the terrified man. Her icy gaze only makes him more desperate. She's got no parents, no one, just another orphan straggler. So why did she protect you? Girl's nose twitches. That's because... His scrambled thoughts come out through blinking eyes. How should I know? I didn't ask her to. Damn. The gun goes off, gasps ripple to the crowd, and the man collapses. His pleas fall silent. Separate them or you're next. Blood spatters into the girl's eye. She tucks her face into her shoulder, wiping the blood clean as she returns An icy glare at the chief.
All I can do.
Could cut them apart, but it'll be straight down the middle. Don't make jokes
I
with
don't
me.
tell jokes.
I never joke. His hand tightens on the grip of the gun, and the girl's life hangs on a sliver of metal. Another shot snaps the crowd's stiff, but it's the chief who falls. Ambush, ambush. At the word, the crowd scatters. The girl flattens to the ground, forcing herself out of the bundle, where she promptly stuffs her torn fingers into her mouth. Bullets whistle overhead. She scrunches into a ball. The barrage drags on unbearably long. She clings to the ground like an old tree root. At last, boots crunch closer through the den. Well, I'm trying to like get a good position. I could never like sit good. Girl lifts her head, and now she sees a long-haired woman dressed in a gorilla uniform. She gives the bandit chief's lifeless body a solid smack with her foot, then turns her gaze toward the girl kneeling on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna move my mic a tiny bit. I'm gonna see if it's not gonna mess with my... It should be fine. Okay. She gives the bandit chief's lifeless body a solid smack with her foot, then turns her gaze toward the girl kneeling on the ground.
You still alive?
Still kicking. She crouches down, pulling the fingers from the girl's mouth with a look of concern, though her tone stays flippant.
You can't eat that.
Oh, come on, how did you get this hungry? You can't eat these. She turns toward her allies and shouts. Shepherd, get over here. Bring this girl something to eat. At that, another gorilla rushes over to untie the girl.
Don't be silly.
You know nothing. Huh? They're my fingers. Gorilla fighter glances at the fingers and then at the girl. She hesitates and stuffs the fingers back into the girl's mouth. I've been all across Orenosia, and not once have I seen anything like this. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. I feel like I butchered it, sadly. Yeah, I'm like trying my best to find like a good sitting position. So I keep moving. The victorious guerrillas take over the bandit spot. A few of them sit around the execution platform, watching the girl fiddle with her fingers.
Chev.
Brushes over the seam between the severed fingers in her palm. In her palm, pulling them together with ease. I think this is kind of where I stopped before. Again, I don't know if this was toward the end of the first chapter 1. We'll see, though. Though it leaves a visible line of stitching, her fingers begin to move freely as though they were never severed. You reattach them just like that? Scrawny youth, nicknamed Shepherd, leans in with wide-eyed shock, staring at her fingers as if it were a magic trick. Haha. Shepherd, go on. Fetch your weeds. Let's see which herb can do that. Bearded man kicks Shepherd, who clutches his sore side and shuffles to give him space. Small man tags along behind the bearded giant as he makes his way up to his boss. That trick's pretty impressive. Can you heal others too? Girl nods, then grabs a piece of hard bread beside her and wolfs it down. Slow down, slow down. I'm afraid you'll swallow those fingers of yours. Todor? Here. Go on, Todor. Fetch us a basin of water. The man's scowl is barely visible beneath his brown beard, as thick as a lion's mane. He leaves with his lackey. Where did you come from? She lowers her head, trying to keep her eyes level with the girl's face. The girl keeps gobbling down food, ignoring her question. Are you all by yourself? Still no answer. Her cheeks bulge like a drum. Watching this, the woman can't help but pat the girl's cheeks a few times. Wake up! Girl looks confused. It doesn't feel like a strike of anger, more like a friendly greeting. Hey, what's your name? Water's here! The girl takes the basin full of water and plunges her head in for a gulp. No, don't. That's not for drinking. From a distance, Shepard shouts in a panic but shrinks back under Todor's glare. Mumbles an explanation instead. It's not clean. Ah. Girl stops to stare at her reflection in the
I
basin.
don't.
I have no name and I don't know where I came from.
Then
And you can join us. You seem to be in need of protection, and we're certainly in need of someone with your talents. The girl's ears twitch, she glances around the woman, and then suddenly bolts. Stop her. The entire square is filled with ragtag soldiers. She scarcely makes it 2 steps before the hulking Todor seizes her. Careful with her hand. Right. Despite her frantic struggle, she winds up bound and brought back to the guerrilla fighter. We're not the bad guys. You're no different from those bandits. You use guns to get what you want. That's not true. I heard everything back there. You're a stray, aren't you? Just another victim of this damned
we're
war.
on the same side.
We're your people. Girl's face shows clear doubt. She can't even begin to understand the claim. Girl carries a basin of bloody water in her clean hands. Following behind the woman. She lowers her head, watching it ripple with each step she takes. Every step you take. The water stirs up against the basin's edge, splashing briefly, only to be rebound and stirred even more.
I won't.
I won't bleed for them. I protected that tavern keeper, and what did I get? I don't need you to fight for them. I only need you to keep us alive. Why? Just so you can rip this land apart piece by piece?
Could it be?
How are you any different from those bandits or the occupation's forces? This is our home. And it can be your home too, Iglika. You don't have to wander
My
anymore.
name is
Not
Iglika.
rat, not slave. Iglika, that became my name. Wash the blood off your face and hands, then pour out that basin. Todor will fetch you some fresh water later so you can bathe. Iglika set the basin down on a crumbling table. Her shelter is an old gatehouse, damaged in some forgotten battle, but still able to keep out the wind and rain. It's so interesting to always see like how the characters come up, right? Like they're when you read these stories where it's whether it's the like the actual character stories like in the event like you know per update or the character event stories or the like anecdotes, it's always interesting to see like their backstory and like their comeuppance or their origin stories. See, Iglika sits the basement down on a crumbling table. Her shelter is an old gatehouse, damaged in some forgotten battle, but still able to keep out the wind and rain. I won't go to the front. I'll only treat the wounded you bring back. That's our deal. Shepard lurks at a distance, both eager and fearful, eyeing the new doctor in their ranks. Never break my word, but since you've joined us, you'll follow the rules and you'll dress me properly?
Yes.
Yes, Captain Nusha? 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 We're gonna make a little home of our own here. The little girl who grew up displaced, who never knew care from anyone else, I promised almost felt real. Damn. Let me refresh everything. Reconnect all the severed blood vessel? Is this the game, the mini game for like this event? What is this? Wait, hold on. What? Okay, well, I messed up. Okay, hold on. Damn, there's only one of those? What? Reconnect all the severed blood vessels? So this does not work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So I have to somehow get this down to over here. Do I have to connect all these two? What? That does not work. Let's see. How does this not work? What? Oh my god, this is already like... There's not a lot of room for like... Okay, well that doesn't work. What? I think I know what to do. Does this mean this is connected? I can't tell. Uh... Okay, yeah, if you guys are watching this, you might have to fast forward. I'm gonna probably be here for a bit. Holy moly, yeah, because I... What the hell? Reconnect all the severed blood vessels? Yeah, I'm kind of like lost. Am I just supposed to ignore this stuff in between? Like, I don't get it. how? What am I supposed to do? I might actually have to look this up also. Like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand this stuff right here. I think with this event, it's not really clear, like, if it connects or not. I don't get it. Like, am I trying to connect? I'm trying to connect this to over here, aren't I? I think. Have you done this before? Like, I don't like. You could tell me, like, because I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do? You haven't done it? Okay, then I'm doomed. Because, yeah, my goal's not clear. Like, am I supposed to connect all the veins to, like, all this and to this too? It doesn't seem like I have enough stuff. Like, it doesn't connect. Why doesn't it go? That's impossible. There's not enough, like... No, it doesn't... I... I... You know what? Okay, I guess you just say fuck it and, like, forget about this poor, like, other thing that's not connected over here, huh? I guess. Okay, well, that was not clear enough, I guess. Like, it said, like, connect the vein, I guess. Okay. The sutures? Well, now I look like a complete moron. It is a home, though it is neither warm nor safe, and after every skirmish, Iglika's room would end up looking worse than a battlefield. The hell? The whole band squeezes in, soldiers spilling out past the door frame and into the yard. Her gatehouse is made for a cramped hospital, made even worse in moments like this, when those who come along can't bring themselves to leave. Maybe it's to witness Iglika's miraculous stitching skills, but more than that, their comrades' screams compel them to stay. Ah!
Shut up.
Shut up. Stop it. Todor's curly face twists up with each scream. Step by step he positions himself behind his lackey, Kirill, looking everywhere but at the scene. Even your beard's quivering. Shut up. Well, when she fixed herself up, it didn't look like it hurt that much. Yeah, welcome back, dude. You did something reckless? Wait, what? Oh no. Shepard, give me something. Come in. As Captain's call, Shepard fumbles out a vial of powder from his pocket and pours it into her mouth. Gah! Pain and powder cause her to hack up violently, yellow dust filling the room.
Stop moving or the seam will be crooked.
Stop moving or the seam will be crooked? In the chaos, Iglika alone stays calm, cold, even like an icon carved from stone. Untouched by feeling, untouched by the cries around her. She curls her captain's severed arm and stitches with precision. Spark flashes from Iglika's fingertips and then arm pulls back into place. A ring of stitch marks remains around the joint.
It's done.
Damn, she lost her freaking arm, huh? The treatment finished, she gestures flatly for the next patient. Yusha staggers with her feet. Pain eased but not gone. And two fighters rush in with a boy missing a leg. How are you, Captain? Seeing her stumble, Shepard hurries to steady her. Only to get kicked away. You're supposed to pour it on the wound. My tongue's numb. The troops clear space as they move Nunsha off the table, leaving Iglika holding the boy's severed leg, measuring against the stump.
This leg.
This leg isn't yours, is it? What does it matter? A leg's leg.
No.
Hey!
No. I door dashed it? Wait, what? What do you mean, no? It's a leg. We're running out of time. No, he'll die? Look at lands her cold eyes on the two frantic adults beside the boy.
It is not permitted.
Can't just defile someone's body like that. Death's grip will come for him, seizing him with ice and fire until he breathes his last. Two men look ready to argue, words tripping on their tongues, but in the end they swallow them.
Shoot!
What are you all standing here for? Go find the right leg. Guerrillas rush out, leaving only Iglika with a dead limb in her hands. Oh, you also got ice cream, huh? Oh, okay, okay. I'm gonna spend an arm and a leg, might as well indulge. I see. Then indulge you shall. This is the last of the wounded. Everyone else has gone out to search for his missing leg. Iglika seems to realize once again why she is always alone. Yusha shoots Iglika a puzzled look, pulling a twig out from her hair and poking her with it. Ugh. Thoughts are broken by the childish prank. She returns Nusha an annoyed glance. So the little doctor does feel pain. You didn't show a single expression while you were stitching me. Couldn't handle it. She mutters to her men, waving them out of the room. Go. If there's any news, come back and tell me right away. Even on calm days, Iglika's gatehouse is never truly quiet. No amount of cold, detached glare seemed to stop them from arriving. When I was studying at the military academy, my hometown was raided. They said they'd keep me enrolled. Headmaster is still waiting for me to drive these bandits out so I can return. Do you know what rank I'll get when I finish, Major? Oh, Major. Whenever Ivan gets to this point, he gets shifty, and the medals pinned to his chest jingle with the movement. But we don't even have artillery here. Someday. His voice drops as he strokes one of the medals with a finger. You know these medals, only top performers get them. This one's for best trainee in camp. This one's for class representative. On sunny days, Ivan always drops by to greet her, and the conversation always circles back to that destroyed hometown. Have you ever been up to the northwest? Sometimes the visitors are far noisier. Best place in the camp? Huh, I'm telling you, you got quite the setup. My boss had his eye on this spot, you know. First, you know. Shall I give it back to you? She sits at the table near her bed like a sentry waiting to receive every visitor. Keep it, I've already found a better one. Folds his arms, playing at authority, pacing Iglika's room and examining every object in it. Hey, Hydra, isn't that mirror you dragged back from the battlefield enough to admire your beard? Or are you poking around in Iglika's room too? Gabriella's clear. Teasing laugh makes Todor's face turn liver red. So Kyril rushes to the doorway. What are you saying? Don't talk nonsense. Go stitch up your uniform. The little firefly, Kyril, was always faster to react than his heavyset boss. Todor's face flushes as he stuffs his big hands back under his arms, pacing circles on the floor. But there isn't even a mirror in my room. Bam. Todor pulls a small mirror from his coat and slams it down in front of her. I knew it. My little sister could never be without a mirror. Neither should you. Stumbles over his words. She's about your age. Just use it. Come on. Come on, Kyril. Ah, fine. The two leave just as noisily as they entered. His head looks like it's about to explode. Remembering Todor's flushed face, she thinks he had to look at it himself, but the little mirror only reflects one of Aglika's eyes, never the whole of Todor's red, puffed-up face.
If
If it really does explode, don't expect him to stitch it back together. Sometimes visitors come late at night, with Nusha always arriving in the glow of candlelight. No patience tonight, aren't you bored? She lips inside, one hand clutching a wine bottle, the other carrying a roast lamb leg, with a wolfish grin on her lips. I've been busy. What? They can't fight without tearing off arms now. Glika doesn't answer, only glancing at the pile of things stacked in the corner of the room. Ha, you've got a stash here. Why not use some of it? What's the point of letting it pile up? Her words are always matched with action before the sentence is even finished. She's already hauling the whole pile over onto the table.
I don't want to.
Don't. I don't want them. Nisha freezes, lowering her face close to Glika's, matching her hard stare. She shifts back, keeping distance between them.
Why?
They gave these things to you. Why not use them? Nothing comes free. You call this free. She points at her body. Her palms, arms, and calves are all marked with Glika's stitching. I don't want to be involved in all of this. Because we fight bandits or the occupiers. I didn't think you'd care much about that. Yusha's teasing expression disappears from her face.
Do you really believe anyone will be grateful?
To throw away your life for people who have nothing to do with you? To trade your own body just so they can live in peace? Do you really think anyone will thank you for that? Glika isn't avoiding Nusha anymore. Instead, she presses all her pent-up frustration into her words. Nusha sits down, planting both hands on the table between them. For a moment, she takes on something close to the real authority that she claims. What are you so angry about? Caught off guard by the question, Glika falters. She recalls the eyes of the villagers, their limp bodies, yet the strength and anger they showed when driving off starving refugees. She remembers how they feared the guerrillas just as they feared the bandits. All these memories churn and a nameless rage surges up in her. We're not doing this for others. No, we're doing it for ourselves. Yusha lets the words sink in. To reclaim what we've lost, even if this war never ends, we still have to fight. Otherwise, we'll just keep losing until there's nothing left.
Among those you've protected, how many will agree with your actions?
What have you actually gained from all this struggle? Will the people you've protected agree?
Don't try to recruit me.
Don't try to rope me in with you. I don't believe in this fight. And I don't believe in allies either. You're just a bunch of violent people thrown together by temporary interests. Call yourselves liberators, conquerors, or murderers, I don't care. That night ends on a bitter note. Let me spell it out for you. Those guerrillas treat you well because, one way or another, this war has taken away their own children. You're a living reminder of why we fight. And look at these marks. Yusha rolls up her sleeve, revealing the stitches Glika left behind. These stitches run deep, whether you like it or not. You've already bound yourself up with us. Glika stares at the winding scars across her captain's arm, a phantom itch prickling her fingertips. A bond, the only thing holding us together in this room, and the meals we share. Nothing more. Not everyone is as naive as you, and I'm long past the age of believing in fairy tales. I only offer my skills because I want to be alive at the end of the day.
It was never brotherhood that kept me alive.
Glika looks up again, realizing now how close she has gotten to her. She throws back her head in a laugh and carries on. smell like Gabriella. Did she wash something for you? What? Don't worry, it's hardly the worst smell around here. Glika half jumps as she sniffs her clothes, but Nusha stops her, and soon after takes her leave. Ridiculous. They throw themselves into danger and death chasing after a dream. Foolish excuse to pat themselves on the back. Let's see, is there a gameplay segment? Existing blood vessel sections cannot be moved. Wow. So there's 7. Okay, well, it's a lot easier than I thought it was. Christmas Eve. Oh, wow. That just passed not too long ago as well. Snowy woodland. Winter blows cold, and quickly the evening snow binding this poor town to the endless distant east. Something faint and hard to name to take shape. Somehow this day is special. Yusha sits on a rooftop barking orders while her soldiers bustle in and out of the base. Iglika leans alone against the guardhouse outside, watching them dress up the ruins around them with scraps of holiday cheer. Regardless of the reason, their fight continues on over the next year, and over time, their little force gains a new name: the 10 Soldiers.
Because of me.
They had almost forgotten what death meant. No matter how deep the wound, as long as they were breathing, when they reached my table, I could put them back together. My stitches spread over them until they each looked like patched-up 10 soldiers, an invincible army, like something out of a myth.
Then...
I only focused on the torn flesh in front of me, never gave any thought to what it meant. That word invincible, turns out someone took it as a challenge. Try this, Pohas? Pojas? Pohas? Iglika? Amidst the stream of people going in and out, a gorilla steps out, holding a red belt. She gently wraps it around Iglika's waist, studying her carefully. You should wear more red, Iglika. It suits you. A bit of white embroidery would even look better. She unties it with a smile and slips away. Now they're out there celebrating Christmas Eve like drunken fools. Is that why she was, like, in the main story, like, stitching, like, red? Like a red, like, material? Or, like, a red cloth? I see. Now they're out there celebrating I think it was red, if I'm not mistaken. Now they're out there celebrating Christmas Eve like drunken fools. So noisy. It's quieter here. Brushes the snow off a rock outside the courtyard and sits down. After a while, the cold seeps in through her boots and into her flesh. Iglika! The girl turns. Through the mist of her breath, she sees a face, the red belt in her hand shining bright against the snow. What are you doing sitting out here? Iglika stares out toward the town. The guerrillas can't risk staying in the town itself. There's always a risk that the occupiers might arrive. Instead, they set up camp in an old woodcutter's camp on the side of a barren slope. But for now, at the foot of the mountain, children walk house to house singing carols. Smoke curls from chimneys. Someone carries a bundle of straw to lay on the floor. Not a fan of the season? She sits beside Iglika, holding the belt against her waist before pulling out a needle and thread.
Is it because...
I wonder why you are here. Or, I wonder why you are. I wonder why you are. Do you really believe in all that stuff about God? Sometimes I struggle too, but I believe even my doubts are a part of his will. She folds her hands and bows her head in prayer. Glika watches the snowflakes settling in Gabriella's messy hair. You there, Todor. Nusha's voice rings from afar, and up the slope trudges Todor, a massive bundle of straw on his back. Boss, hand over some of those. You've carried them all the way up here. Think you can carry it all yourself? Even at a breath, Todor still finds the strength to kick Kirill aside. Kirill stumbles but follows, the two exchanging a brief greeting before passing by the two girls sitting there. I have to believe the good word could benefit even someone as thick-headed as Hydra. Dusk falls at the foot of the mountain. The carolers have already visited 3 homes, but they'll never climb up here. Behind them, Nushka's voice keeps ringing out as she directs the squad. Glika looks back, catching the scent of bean soup.
What about the captain?
What of the captain, then? Why is she so fond of Christmas Eve? Glika looks back at Gabriella. I don't really take her for a true believer. She just wants to fight the occupiers. She thinks of it as a time to pull us all together. Gabriella presses the needle against her lip in thought to celebrate our heritage and remind us of where we come from, to show those trying to carve us apart that even if they tear us away by force, our spirit will always bind us back together. Her brows knit, carrying the same expression Nusha wears, and bark in orders.
Seems that...
Sounds like she made quite an impression on you. Gabriella touches her ear, then nods.
we will be bound forever.
Our spirit will always bind us back together. The bean soup smell thickens, and Glico lets out a sarcastic laugh.
You know,
You know what this reminds me of? There was a year that I wandered through a city. I found myself in a district celebrating Christmas Eve. That day, a group of kids led me to a big house where a woman was handing out food. We all waited in line forever, and at the end, each of us was served a thin bowl of bean gruel. The woman who passed out the bowls led us in prayer of thanks to the Lord for our food. She made sure each of us said it too. Only then were we allowed to eat. I sat there mouthing the words as she went on and on. I can't remember which saints she was talking about or why it should matter, but I remember the smell. Hair of cold, reddened hands pat Iglika's knees. What is it? Iglika's gaze follows the hands up until she meets Gabriella's eyes. That doesn't sound like the best memory, but now you have something new to think about when you smell those beans again. Maybe that's what Nusha was talking about. Huh? My sister? Gabriella's face is cold, but Iglika can't tell whose feels colder. Waiter for me, alright. The belt's almost done. The thread has run out, the needle dangling from the red cloth as her body shifts. I'll be right back. Ah. She runs back, leaving Iglika only then aware of her warmth. It's cold. Night settles, the winter woods feel lonelier than ever. Down, get down! Oops. Yusha's warning cuts through the air. Lika cannot make sense of any words that are said. The chaos around her becomes as muffled noise rising up through silence. Shards of brick smack into her back. She turns to see Nusha waving for Ivan to rush over. Ivan gestures to her, but finding no answer, simply grabs Iglika by the wrist and pulls her into a run. Damn, they're always getting into trouble, huh? Tries to wriggle out of his grip, but he simply pulls her tighter. Her words make no noise against the ringing in her ears. Still, she refuses to be dragged away, placing a hand on a tree and stitching herself to its trunk. Wait, hold on. She dragged away. A shard of bark comes with her as she's yanked down the side behind a deep ridge. Oh, I see what's happening. For a moment I thought it was Nusha that got like bombed or whatever, but no, it was like Iglika. She got hit. The night is silent, but the scene is unholy. The village is lit only by the dying flickers of flame. Iglika arrives to find Yusha atop the ruins, grimly surveying the scene. Others are digging through the rubble, searching for survivors. It seems not a single one escaped uninjured. Shepard hurriedly tends to the wounded, staunching cuts and bullet holes with rags that reek of his herbal medicine.
What happened?
What happened? Yusha doesn't look up. She yanks a dirty cloth tied around a gash that runs down her arm. The occupiers ambushed us. I still don't know how they got through our sentries. Where's Gabriella? There are people that need your help now. Damn, is she just dead? Sharp ringing seems to return, rising in step with her frustration. The smell of that damn bean soup is still caught in her nose. She runs toward her old guardhouse, in part out of duty, in part out of hope, scrambling past bodies still half buried under rubble. One an arm with 2 stitch marks. Dimitar. Who rides faster than me? Look, she's a beauty. 1. A left thigh shorter than the right. Biliana. Scum. Wipe your damn face. 1. Thin arms, no wounds, but a tattoo is Karil. Damn, she can identify them just by their body parts, huh? Ouch, boss. Ouch, boss. 1 with a thick brown beard. Where's my little sister? Damn, dude.
Iglika!
Why do I remember every word they said? Iglika?
This is...
This one's Todor. Yusha rises, strides over, and drags her out of the ruins. And Mihail? Where's Gabriella? She's gone. Damn. Yusha offers her a blood-soaked red belt crusted with sand and stone. The stains gleaming in the firelight. Shrapnel. I went straight through her skull. Not even you can repair that. Ah! Iglika collapses to her knees. I want... Iglika? I want a god and let them taste death too. I'll stitch their faces to their damn boots. Sparks crackle at her fingertips, the air faint with the smell of burning. That wasn't part of our deal. The sting in her cheek leaves Iglika dazed. Now, if we don't want to lose more comrades, you better go help Shepard. Iglika stares blankly toward the firelight. Through a blur of tears, she sees a dark figure rushing about. If you have even a shred of sense left, Yusha brushes her swollen cheek. You didn't know these hands of yours weren't made for killing. Damn, this stuff. She like recognized them by their body parts, since they all get injured so much. And they're, you know, she's always sewing them back up. That's crazy. Square one. She was right. By the end of that night, we'd lost over half our men, and the enemy was clearly prepared to return. We'll fall back to Thermaniki. On my knees in that snow and mud, stained black by fire and red with blood. Yusha spoke words that filled me with shame, and at that moment I was sure I wanted vengeance. Thermaniki, a rich and beautiful city, at least by the standards of the time. Whenever I think back to it, I can still see the sunlight glinting off the sea. I think it must have been at dusk. The port city. Yeah, her body parts, they... Yeah, because she's with, like, these guerrilla, soldiers, or this guerrilla team and whatnot, she's like sewn, she's basically their medic and whatnot, and she like, or their surgeon, and she like sews them all back up and whatnot, like their missing body parts, and she could like recognize them and whatnot by all the whatever they have on them, like a tattoo or a scar or like whatever. Now I know, it really is dusk. Iglika perches on a roof beam, staring out toward the glittering sea. The winter sun leaves the water languid and tranquil, almost like it was made of ice. She pulls the belt from her pocket. It is a travesty of bloodstains and dirt. But she can't force herself to wash it.
Gabriella.
Remember you said you'd like to visit once we've won the war, but you didn't win, did you, Gabriella? It was December 30th on the Julian calendar when Nusha brought the remainder of their troops into the city. Hold on, let me see. Nusha disappeared. Wait, what? Nusha disappeared. She said it was to report to headquarters, though the notion they had been a part of any formal army confused her. She was left alone on the back streets, watching countless unfamiliar faces pass below her perch. Iglika, Iglika. Thought for a while that she must have run away, but 2 days later I heard her voice again. Nusha looks rougher than she had before, but nonetheless energetic as she rushes toward her. Iglika, Iglika. She was like some wild woman clutching a fat rabbit. Only her catch seemed to be a stack of rolled up documents. We're not beaten yet. Words barely leave her lips before she begins to stumble and collapse. Oh no. While she rested in the hospital, I was tasked to begin recruitment. She directed me to a station, though it soon became clear it was far from anything I expected. I began to understand this organization was more secretive than I knew. She finds herself in a church surrounded by young men and women no older than her. Some are younger, none of them look ruddy. Solemn oaths are sworn and the choosing begins. You, and you. Chosen march proudly behind him, mimicking the older soldier's steely and grim expression. He leads them to a corner of the underground chamber, a spot where they can look out over the others, with a strange and dark sense of hostility. Another steps up, her demeanor entirely different, though no less joyless as she begins her selection. Arcanists step forward. Several of the young recruits obey. She quizzes each one about their arcane skills, and takes her pick from them. Other commanders whisper and then, one by one, claim more recruits. The numbers dwindle. Those left to be chosen stand awkwardly in the widening space. In silence, two of the elders presiding over the recruitment trade glances. One walks up to Iglika. Which unit do you represent?
Nusha.
Nusha? I see. These are your recruits then, girl. We'll make fine soldiers, everyone. He beckons the shy youths forward. No. Iglika steps back, refusing to meet their eyes. These weren't soldiers, they were the walking dead. We weren't marching to war or glory, just to our graves. The blood-soaked snow and charred ruins. I'm not Nusha. I couldn't take their lives in my hands. I couldn't bear their deaths. The elders falter at her rejection. This was just a trick. From the very beginning, she just dragged me deeper into this mire, so I could find myself bound to them just like I was before. To make me care so that I might throw my own life away for them.
She was right.
Fine, I will. I'll do it anyway. The rest of these recruits are mine. She turns to face the doorway where Nusha stands, steadying herself against the frame. For our homeland.
Permission to enter.
Nusha? Come in. These are the files you wanted? Good work. Iglika lays down the thick stack of papers but doesn't leave. What is it? Iglika said is a woman, calm, steady. Too calm, it only fuels her anger.
Why?
Why do you send me there? I needed someone I could trust, that's all. That's not it, I'm not going to be like you. Excuse me, hold on. What are you talking about? You think I don't see it? You wanted me to get attached. Said that I'd carry their lives with me, just like you do. Because now, she sees 1,000 stitches running from her body to body, a homunculus of corpses wearing their seams. Their quirks, their rambling words, their dreams, their homes. Are you scared? Scared? Lika lets out a scornful snort and frowns at her own anger. What is it you're resisting? If I took any lesson from her, it was cutting straight to the point. Will I have to stitch myself together before you're satisfied? She have to step back, avoiding her captain's sharp glare. I'm afraid. Is that enough? I don't want to start over. I don't want to lose everything again. I doubt I'll ever be able to feel warm on Christmas morning again. Each body we found, each one sapped some warmth from me that I think I might never find again. And now we just do it all again. With kids, stupid kids that think war is a game, they have no idea what's waiting for them. Lika draws in a deep breath and looks up at Nusha. Feels as though she's begging for their lives before an angry god. Are you willing to watch them die? For a moment, a flicker of pity passes through Nusha's eyes, but it sinks back into the dark of her brow. They chose to join us, and there's no one else willing to fight. I won't watch them die. Iglika rises abruptly. Blame me if you like, but you want this too, Iglika. Tell me then that you wanted to do your part. You chose to remember them, to avenge them. Iglika finds herself at a loss for words. Slides down against the table leg until she's seated on the floor. Her pocket bulges with that red belt, dripping with her against the ground. You will keep remembering them, and you'll soon remember more. You'll leave your mark on new bodies to keep them fighting. Tell me, do you really want to leave, or did you come looking for the excuse you needed to stay? Lika buries her head in her arms, tears drip into the dust. I'm just afraid because I want to train with the recruits. I want to... I won't bleed for them. I protected that tavern keeper, and what did I get? I put others' lives before my own. I want revenge.
I must protect them.
I want to protect them. Then you will. Just like Nusha said, I remembered more and more people, but this time I saw their faces first. And then each loss even more vivid. Kept wishing I could mend that red belt, so I started wrestling with their old needle and thread. Guess I ended up with a knack for stitching of more than one kind. Eventually, word got around until one day a shy recruit asked me to repair a hole in their pants. I unpicked the stitches and patched it up, no different than if it had been an arm or a leg. In that moment, I finally understood Gabriella. From winter to summer, another kind of stitching began to spread across the recruits, something that brought people together in trust. They left far better scars than the other kind. Aww. Dang. War could be brutal, man. Or war's brutal. Not can be. War is brutal. Return to the battlefield. Basically halfway done. Through long days of training and scattered skirmishes, I began to accept what I had lost and what I would lose. In the end, I found my memories were like a hard stone. All I could do was wrap them in flesh and blood, leaving time and pressure to smooth their edges. But no amount of time could quiet the rage I felt at the occupiers who took them from me. This fight was never my cause, not until that cold Christmas morning. But soon Nusha brought us good news. Outside the city. Final soda set for August. This battle will decide it all. We take... How in the world do you pronounce this? What? Swewo? Sweewo? I do not know how to, like, pronounce that. Holy moly. Se... Okay, hold... You know what? Here. Let me look it up. Uh... Chess... Chevo? Chevo. Okay. I... I'll see if I can remember that. If we take Chevo, we can build a home of our own. Freedom, freedom at last. The young voices rose in unison as if their cheers alone could rebuild their war-torn nation. We were to be embedded as a part of a larger attack group. The whole unit was preparing, gathering weapons, scouting terrain. But from the first gunshot, we all knew something was wrong. We were stopped outside the city, unable to even break the first line. Take cover! I need those trenches reinforced. Where the hell is Third Company? No contact. Amid the roaring bombardment, the only way to exchange information is to scream at full volume. And the other companies? 2nd and 5th are cut off and under fire. 6th told us they're too busy to babysit humans. What the hell? Shit. Now all of the goddamn times... Now of all the goddamn times they want to bring up the human and Arcanist divide? Iglika stands beside the captain, bewildered and shocked. She's had limited contact with the other commanders. They're coming in heavy from the west, Captain. Machine gunners.
No matter how.
We somehow forgot in all those years of fighting just why we had kept ourselves satisfied with ambushes and minor skirmishes. The occupiers were sketched then, but they were disciplined and they had heavy weapons.
Soon enough.
Our soul was shattered by a sudden counterattack. Ragged guerrillas proved a little match for artillery and shock troops. But it somehow got worse. We soon realized we were surrounded. Bullets skimmed just over their heads as Iglika and Nusha crouched in a shallow foxhole. Can't do anything as long as they have that artillery. She can barely hear her own voice at a scream. Find whoever you can and regroup here. What? Humans, Arcanists, whatever, everyone. The only way we survive is to end this. You and you, pick 2 men of your own. We're forming an 8-man assault squad. She pokes her head up to call 2 veterans forward, but is forced back immediately by gunfire. What are you doing? Taking care of that artillery. Oh my god, excuse me. Oof, excuse me. She moves to climb out. Iglika yanks her back.
What are you going to do?
How? In her panic, Iglika's arcane skill sparks, binding Nusha's collar to her hand. Fix my clothes when I get back. She rips free and crawls out of the crater, leaving only her words behind. There's an armory that way. Watch for smoke.
Hey!
Wait. But Nusha's already too far away to fall back. What do we do? Another blast rattles the ground as she stares out toward Nusha. Her little squad has assembled in the foxhole behind her. She slams a fist into the muddy crater in frustration. Advance, 11 o'clock. Village. They crawl hundreds of meters beneath a storm of bullets, reaching the walls of a derelict slum. Halt. She signals a stop. On the second floor of a ruin, a frenzy of shooting erupts. What is it? I need to get up there. Iglika gestures for the few remaining recruits to flank left and right. They nod, moving with a silent coordination toward the building. Once in position, they await her signal. Ready? She mimics a throwing motion, then hurls a helmet opposite their approach. Go. The recruits charge into the ruin, and Iglika and Ivan dart forward in the opening. I'll take you all with me. Shepard, you... The second floor, the recruits pin down a thin man who refuses to drop his rifle. At Iglika's voice, his strength gives out, and they all collapse in a heap. Iglika, Iglika. They're dead. Beneath the pile, a muffled sob seeps out. Wait, what? The recruits scramble up, revealing Shepard sprawled on the floor in tears. Oh man, I keep yawning. Around him lie empty rifles scattered around across the ground. My herbs, I couldn't stop the bleeding. They're dead. Like I said, it'd be better to feed them to the sheep. Where are the others? They went south of the city. Come on, we'll bring them back. Iglika reaches out and pulls Shepard to his feet. Point the way.
Just like that.
So I did all that I could, rounding up our scattered comrades. Not many were crazy enough to join us, but by the time I reached the city limits, we were nearly at full strength. Outside the city night, putting a searchlight, Iglika finds a blind spot. In the distance, the waning battle groans with sporadic gunfire and constant shelling. Well, the captain's signal. Ivan crawls up from the rear, searchlight sweeping across the brim of his cap. Surely she hasn't. Shut up. Iglika yanks Shepard's head back down. What's next? Iglika glances at Ivan and then over the small band of unfamiliar faces behind him. Their faces blur in the shadows, but Iglika can feel it. They are waiting for her command. She is the one who gathered them here, one by one, and once folded into a group. Humans instinctively follow their leader, and now she has already begun mapping out the battlefield in her head. We need a squad to take that gun emplacement. She points to the wall above. Ivan, it's been a while since you handled a cannon, hasn't it? Artilleryman Ivan nods, understanding her plan. Gunfire rattles above them, freezing them in place. Blind fire, that's all. Oh man. Yeah, I keep yawning. Holy moly. She calms the others, then finishes assigning her assault squad. Iglika slinks toward an opening in the fortress and peers in at the defenses inside. You're with me. Once you're in, hold the corridor, the rest follow. No shooting. The others nod. Iglika threads a line from her fingertip through a crack in the window, binding the latch. Click. With a faint sound, the window swings open.
Proceed.
Move. Squad slips inside. Inside the city. They swiftly take down a few careless sentries, but just as they move to seize the infantry gun upstairs, the iron gate creaks open. Officers step through. They meet terrifying strangers, their smiles vanishing. Two shots ring out at once. A panicked young guerrilla fires and dies to the occupier's pistols.
Fire!
Go loud! The silence inside had lulled them. They had forgotten the danger they were in. A sudden burst of gunfire jolts Iglika.
Upstairs!
Dodging shots, they cut down the guards and gunners by the artillery, holding off pursuers drawn in by the noise. But on the terrace, Iglika sees it, the barrel of a cannon on a distant tower, turning their way. Something explodes in the distance. Boom. Explosions come one after another, too large and too frequent for an artillery barrage. can only mean one thing. Quick, Ivan! Ignoring the quakes and the looming cannon, Ivan lunges for the tower's own artillery. Just the barrel like he'd rehearsed 1,000 times. Seizes the enemy's hesitation and fires first. She orders her squad to help Ivan take the terrace and lay down the suppressing fire. Letting him unleash volley after volley. Seeing the enemy's fortifications in flames, the Liberation Front rally and renew their assault. Soon they storm into the city. But Aglika doesn't rush to join them. She turns back toward the blast site.
Comrade.
Comrade, have you seen Captain Nusha? She moves against the flow toward the explosions, shouting to every fighter surging into the city. None stop to answer. Comrades, have you seen Nusha? She should be here. Chaotic footsteps stamp, smoldering fires into ashes as streams of victorious rebels leap over rubble to reach the city center. Comrade? She trips, a foul, scorched stench hits her nose. She sees what she fell over and gags. Charred corpse, no trace of humanity left. She scrambles up, meaning to ask someone else. Comrade? Glika's voice dies. The fighter she held hurries on. Nusha? Trembling, she steps back to the corpse, staring in disbelief at the unrecognizable remains. All blackened, limbs severed. She fights against the thought that it could be her.
But...
How could I even know this body? Is it? She collapses to the ground. But the breaks in the body, they're all...
Stop moving or the seam will be crooked.
You won't. Why does it hurt even more?
No. No.
She stumbles backward on the ground, horror on her face. Her palm brushes something familiar. It's Nusha's collar. Damn, still stitched to her hand. Nusha. She recoils, resisting. Nusha. Her shout echoes in the ruins, drawing glances from passing fighters. Nusha. Strength gives out, the name falls to a whisper. I brought them all back, one by one, everyone. She hopes somehow that she can hear her. The mission's over, you did it. Mine's done too. Why? Iglika? Ivan follows her into the ruins, stepping carefully over scorched ground. Who is this? His voice shakes. He knows Iglika wouldn't kneel before just any corpse. On the ground, she trembles, staring up at him, unable to speak a single word. If it were the captain, what would she say?
She would.
Damn. Oh, come on. How did you get this hungry? You can't eat these. She's a name, a voice, a smile. Did you ever even picture it would end like this? In her mind, she laughs and grips Iglika's hand. But orders her not to linger, to keep moving. Iglika bows her head low, covering her mouth. She forces herself to speak words she imagines Nusha would say. She gave herself to this revolution. Iglika's nails dig hard into her cheek. Let her rest. Dang, she's just charred, man. She's just dead. Damn. Crazy. Together we stand. Okay, we got like 3 more. That's the way the cookie crumbles? Oh god. A while after, I still tried to pretend that body couldn't have been hers. It wasn't grief, not really. It was because without her, it felt like nothing could really change. And in the end, I was right. The flags were swamped for a little while, but it all meant nothing.
We've only
We held the city for all of 6 days. Counterattack began the next morning. Fierce, unrelenting, the occupiers had pulled up every reserve from across their domain. The so-called provisional government didn't even get to hold a vote. They were too busy fighting for their lives. Captain, the occupiers have broken through on the south side.
Retreat!
There's no sense wasting our lives here. Retreat. The only thing we got out of that city was Ivan's artillery gun. Made good use of it, just like he said he would. Someday. We returned to Thermaniki in shame, but I never expected that I would admit defeat. Our cause was already fractured. By the time we had settled in, they were turning their guns on their own. The guerrilla base.
What's going on?
What happened? At the docks, just a scuffle, but it turned ugly. Humans are Arcanus. They had kept an uneasy coalition up until now. After the failure in... how do I pronounce this again? Chesheva. Show? Oh, Chesheva. What? Chesheva. Chesheva. Interesting, okay. After the failure in Chesheva, I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce it, I'm not sure. Their hatred only deepened, each blaming the other for their losses. The Arcanists were blamed for failing to heed orders and making reckless and costly assaults. While the humans were mocked as weak and cowardly, failures in communication on both sides did little to help. 1 dead, 5 wounded, including civilians. 3 Arcanists have been sentenced to death. Rumor is... Shepard lowers his voice.
Put it simply.
Keep it simple. They won't accept it. They're rebelling. 3, 2, 1, fire! It's starting. By the time she reaches the yard, one of the prisoners has already crumbled before the firing squad.
Stop!
People ring the courtyard walls. At her shout, they turn as one, like starving wolves, fixing her with hungry eyes, as if she's the outlet for their rage. This isn't just. This isn't what we're fighting for. The executioner glances at her, then turns back to the soldiers, signaling them to continue. Careful, Iglika, you're an Arcanist too. 3, 2. You're just looking for a scapegoat. Wait! No one knows who fired or whose sins the bullet carried. Prisoners on the scaffold are untouched, but blood pours from the executioner's forehead. We're under attack. Squad swings their barrels and the yard erupts into chaos. Figures rise from the walls. It wasn't a one-sided revolt. Both sides had prepared. Dodging stray bullets, Iglika and Shepard retreat beneath the scaffolding. Those must be Boyan's and Vesna's men. They're the top lieutenants of the human and Arcanist factions. Galika hasn't had much time to learn about either of them. Tell our people grab that one and that one. She points at two who look like leaders. Take them first. Yes, ma'am. Two bridge points. Oh, what the hell? Two bridge points have appeared inside the wound. When blood enters a bridge point, it exits from the other. I see. Well, they want you to... Okay, so... Well, this is not gonna work like this. Hmm. Is this just, like, not gonna do anything? What? What? What the fudge? What? What the hell? Okay.
Stop!
Ceasefire! Drags the two instigators up onto the scaffold. Their troops force the factions apart. Seeing their leaders in her group, the fighters falter, soon disarmed by Glika's men. Shepard, find some medics for the wounded. On it, the medics rushed in to carry off the injured. Below, the others stare at Glika and their captured leaders, uncertain. Let me refresh everything again. Infighting, really? Nisha, what did your life buy us? How many brothers and sisters did we lose at Cheshava? And now your unfinished task falls to me. Dead silence. Do we have any time for this? Quick as voice rises, ringing out.
Where?
We are the Thracian Liberation Front. We're meant to unite this land to build a home of our own.
We will be bound.
Can't let your
Forever.
death mean nothing. I have to unite them like you did. Are we not all comrades? We eat from the same soil, drink from the same rivers. We lived together, shared one dream. Pace of the fallen surface in Iglica's mind, each carrying a piece of home. Nusha had brought them together, filling the map. How could I... what? How could I watch that map fall apart? Look around you. Our enemies are not here. They're in Cheshava, waiting for us. She steps forward. Fighters glance at each other, not knowing what to do.
We shouldn't!
You think we have the bodies to spare? General! The gunshot draws every soldier's attention. One of them snaps to attention, saluting toward the doorway. Following the sound, several soldiers escort an older man inside. Though his face shows age, he stands tall and straight. Behind him trail a hardened male officer and a languid female soldier. Bolyan and Vesna. Yes, that's got to be the general. Got to be General Space. Spas? Shepard whispers the name into her ear. They're just pawns. Someone higher up is calling the shots. With Spas's arrival, the soldiers stiffen, fixing their uniforms. Pick up your guns, get out with those dogs. Human troops fall into line and march out. Then the woman speaks, and Iglica recalls her face. The reckless Arcanist commander. She saw the recruitment ceremony. Let's go. She shrugs, leading her people away. The two minor captains exit with their men as the tall old man approaches.
Nice.
You did well just now. You're the girl Nusha brought in, aren't you? His face is kind, his tone unassuming. Were it not for the way he stands, he'd seem no different from any old man on the street. She fell in Cheshava. Lifts the hand still stitched with a scrap of cloth. The grip of her gun has frayed it loose. General Spas clasps her hand, patting the back gently. She was a good child. The word strike Iglica as strange. Thank you, child. I do believe that verdict was biased, but I never expected things to spiral like this. Our loss at Cheshava. Let me grab it and see how they... Let me see if Google knows how to pronounce it. Oh, it stands for cherry. Cheshava. Yeah, that's kind of like how it sounds. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Lhasa Cheshava has hit us harder than we knew. Besides, might well have lost even more to this madness if it weren't for you. You did well. Ada was the first of us to hear about this. The old man studies her with a smile. Careful, the sharp edge of yours will cut deeper than you expect. What about them? Points to the two prisoners cowering by the wall. Don't worry, child. We'll investigate the matter thoroughly. When the time comes, rewards and punishments will be meted out, but not now. Her doubtful gaze meets his, only to be softened by his strange kindness. I've already lost too many, and too much is left undone. Too many want a reason for their comrades' death. In their haste, they reach for whatever is near. Our ranks are in shambles. We need someone like you, someone who can unite them again. Smiles with satisfaction. You mean... Gave me command of a force 3 times the size of our old unit. And just like that, I was off to the... Okay, again, I do not know how to pronounce this. The... I could try to, like, see. How do I spell it? Dang it, I'm clicking the wrong thing. No, what am I doing? I'm gonna leave it open, actually. What? Orenosian. Mountaineering. Hmm. It says this is Greek. And then the other ones that I was pronouncing it for is like Polish. I never learned the final verdict. I was already mired in skirmishes and battle plans. Rumors from the city were few and far between. Hmm. Okay. Thus, the decision is made. 2 more. I returned to that little border village and I rebuilt that woodcutter's camp. I even lived in that old gatehouse. This time, though, it wouldn't be a makeshift hospital. We had new medics, far better than me at healing. My duty was to hold the border to keep out the enemy. But my heels were caked with soil from east to west. The evening sun slants through the doorway. Iglika's guard, leaning on the frame, dozes off. Inside, Iglika's embroidering a cloth already crowded with patterns. Then a noise shatters the quiet.
What now?
The guard jolts awake, straightens his back, and steps aside. Shadows stretch long in the sunset as a group marches up, following a bound young man to her door. Captain. The little gatehouse can't hold them all. 2 soldiers drag the prisoner inside. The rest crowd the doorway, peering in.
What happened?
What's the issue? Did he stick his thumb in your breakfast? Glucas sets down her needles, eyeing the prisoner. He's caked in mud. Blood drips from his brown lips. Already beaten half to death. Her face hardens. You overdid it.
Listen.
He's a vampire. At the word vampire, the crowd presses closer, eyes widening. Is he?
It's dangerous.
Caught him drinking cow's blood in the barn. She shifts her eyes down to the kneeling youth.
Raise your head.
I am. Oh, it literally shows you when they meet. I am.
Oh?
Hmm? The blunt admission leads Hard to crouch down, trying to meet his eyes. You. Youngman hides his face, so Iglika turns to his uniform, searching for that special embroidered mark. It's the mark Iglika stitched for every gorilla, a symbol of their home and their purpose. Grassland up north. Tracks her memory there. She flips through the campaign log, page after page, until she finds a note of their brief encounter. You know what we found? Joined us as soon as you woke up, right? Yes, ma'am. Iglika sets the log back on the table.
What is your name?
Heroes. Yeah, you see? It is, wow.
You know,
Do you know what we do with vampires? He nods. Yet you confess. Excuse me. Yet you confess. The man says nothing more. The doorway is jammed with gawkers. The story twists as it spreads, drawing more onlookers.
Hey!
Back to your duties, I'll handle this. She rises, scolding the fighters, pressing their heads inside. Out. Go, or I'll stitch you all together. What captain, he? Whether out of concern or hunger to see the vampires end, the soldier lingers. After a pause, he too is driven off. All night last, Iglika unties the ropes. Let's talk. This is head. Dried cow's blood still staining his teeth. Sit. Yeah, it's the stool she points to. Shows the stool she points to, but though he rises to his feet, he doesn't move.
Why?
Why bother joining us? I didn't have any special reason. Even without the war, I don't have any home to return to, none that would take me. Living with the gorillas, hiding a while longer is the best I could do. Rubs the scab at his lip. Fingers reeking of dirt and straw. Have you killed anyone? Piro shakes his head.
Oh?
How did you handle your need for blood? Cows, sheep, it's enough to get by. Sometimes I'll drink from dying enemies, the kind beyond saving with or without blood. The dying have a rotten taste, hardly better than cattle. Well, what do you plan to do now? The question Pyros freezes. Me? Do I have a choice?
If
I don't kill you, what will you do? Run? I will keep running until I find some new hole to hide in. No thought of living peacefully alongside us? Huh. Can't help but laugh. Just because I've fallen so low, don't think that my kind are soft. We are predators, and you are our prey. How could there ever be peace between us?
is it truly not possible?
So you're saying it's impossible. She holds an expression that at once firm. She holds an expression at once firm and sincere. Paris looks at her and remembers the sting of the sun of that day. If I said I had killed people, would you still think this way? Lika frowns.
If
you've broken the law, then the law should judge you. But I won't condemn you just for what you are. There aren't many that think like you. He folds one arm over the other as if the ropes were still there. But the vampire's body bears no marks from the ropes, nor even the wounds he bore when he first entered. You're naive. Would you expect your people to sleep soundly next to a live bomb?
Oh?
Are you a bum? Hero steps back. I am not. But what? You joined us, didn't you? I don't abandon my people. Kyros hangs his head. Do you enjoy playing the saint? Or do you fancy having a vampire for a pet? Yuka rubs circles in her palm with her fingertip. There's no trace of fabric there now, but she still remembers it.
I simply hate seeing people throw their lives away. It's asinine.
I don't like to see soldiers turn on each other. She remembers the execution yard and digs her nails into her palm. Pointing their guns at those who bled alongside them. It's stupid, wasteful. What's the difference here? Against his own judgment, Pyros can't help but drop his sneer. So you don't intend to kill me? Human arcanist, awakened vampire, why can't we all stand together? You're living in a cloud cuckoo land. Maybe, but if I don't believe in it, what right do I have to lead you? Hero said he's a girl, 3 decades younger than him. He sees childishness, but a beautiful kind of childishness. So how do you intend to solve our problem here? Till you commit an actual crime, I won't punish you? Will be reassigned as my aide. Call it trust or call it surveillance, but don't mistake it for privilege. Life will be harsher than before. I'll give you a fair chance, but you must convince the others that won't
Will
be
you?
easy. Are you willing? With a shrug, Pierce slips his fingers into his mouth. Blood trickles from his lips. He yanks at his fangs. Blood trickles from his lips. He yanks at his fangs and hands them to her. This whole event seems too strange not to give it a try. We'll grow back soon enough, but consider this a symbol. She takes the bloodied fangs and holds them up. See, we bleed the same color. One day we'll stand together. The words reminded Pyrrhus of a distant song, though its meaning couldn't be more different. Stares at the stained fangs in her hands, feeling now like they have become a mark of shame rather than innocence. He nods, unsure whether in hearing or in agreement. There were some disagreements in the company about my handling of Pyrrhus, but I had earned their trust, and in time, so did he. Over the years, their suspicion turned to deep and lasting friendship. Even when he was reassigned, no one revealed his secret. It seemed I was only one step from our dream. At least that's what I believed. Hmm. Play a game of Ultimate Stitch. What the hell? Okay, one more. A New Dawn. It was still just a dream. Office.
What?
Peace talks, so we're just giving up? She'd grown to despise the general's ever-kindly smile. Iglika, this is the best outcome. We need to look towards an acceptable compromise.
Could it be?
Compromise? Freedom for our homeland? Wasn't that the entire point of this damned war? We haven't abandoned our goals. We've been promised greater autonomy. In word only. This has always been the work of generations. We've bled long enough. We'll sign the treaty, but our fight will go on. In the empty promises of old men. What became of those condemned arcanists, General? Mind your words. Their files are in the archives. If you cared, you could have checked. The General's sharp reply checks her. Spiteful words hang on her tongue.
I won't.
I won't agree, and neither will my troops. Folly of youth. I had hoped giving you that command would teach you responsibility. Sacred words form a crack in his facade of kindness, but Iglika doesn't flinch. She leans in close. We're already rebels, General. With that, she turns, offering no salute, leaving the loathsome place behind her. Captain. Shepard bursts into Iglika's office, clutching a stack of letters. Any replies? She snatches the bundle, tearing them open one by one. With each, her face darkens further. In the end, only a few remain on the desk. The rest she burns to ash at her fingertips. We've lingered on this border too long.
Turns out.
I'm not one for bargaining or kissing rings. I thought we were better than this. Iglika slumps back, rubbing her forehead. They've already divided Orinosia among themselves. So now what do we do? She leans back, the front legs of her chair tipping up. In the cracking sway, she feels as if she's walking a tightrope. There's still a few we can trust. Get these letters out. She points to the last few letters she has to send. Then I'll call a rally. Go. Yes, Captain. As he turns to leave, a soldier delivers an envelope. Looks like there's one more. Leave it there. Ah. He sets it on Iglika's desk and leaves. She eyes the letter with suspicion. She thought she had already received them all. Who could this one be from? The staring is useless. A Glick lifts the envelope from the desk and slices it open. Is it Manus Vindicte? Run. Iglika? Flames roar in her ears. Her body feels nothing but
No.
numbness. No. She tries to lift herself up, only to realize one of her arms is not there. Through Syrian pain, she crawls through the fire, finds her severed limb, and stitches it back on. Naive. In methods and in ideals, you are far too naive. She wipes blood from her face, feeling torn flesh under her fingers. Stitch by stitch, she repairs her body, just as she once gathered back her scattered comrades one by one.
You think?
You think killing me will stop someone from rising to rip off that mask? You think killing one will silence the rest? You chose wrong.
Fire can't kill me.
Three years later? Conductress's cabin. Train cuts through rolling fields of white snow. Inside it is warm and bright. Corvus presses her hand to the window pane, feeling the cold beyond. Across from her sits the train's conductor, his chest festooned with medals. I do believe I know the truth. He survived that blast, living in hiding under a pseudonym, Corvus. He closes a thick dossier, letting it fall with weight onto the table. The dossier lands with a heavy thud.
Yes, you're right.
Yes, you're right. Corvus glances at him, then resumes her stitching. I must inform you then, in light of this revelation, I will have no choice but to turn you and those refugees over to the authorities. And naturally, the one who sponsored your employment at Vienna Pannonian Railways in the first place. Is that the company's position? Company? They don't know yet. He rises, silver medals gleaming in the candlelight. Did you earn those, or is that the going rate for betraying defenseless people? I couldn't care less about them. You're the main prize. He orders the guards while heading for the door. But Corvus's voice halts him. Conductor, do you know where this train is headed? Corvus bites off her final thread, her embroidery complete. Conductor looks at her, puzzled. The red symbol on her cloth strikes him with dread.
Me and my people will not be handed over.
The guards at the door turn. He sees the same symbol stitched inside their collars. You. Before he can act, he catches a glimpse through the doorway. A row of attendants, all bearing the same mark. Standing ready. Corvus steps to the rear window. The horizon glows, pale with a new dawn.
Dawn.
No matter how many times it falls, the sun will rise again. Okay. Damn. What is this? 2 terminal nodes have appeared inside the wound. Blood must be delivered to both terminals to complete the stitching. I see. Rum, bum, 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 bum. Does this just... Here, let me take a look at something. What? Huh. Huh. Let me test something. What? What? Hmm. Well, this one's like easy to get to over here, but what? But this one. Huh. How do I do this? This one's not. Uh. No. Okay, so let me think about this. This is how this ends. So it's like you need that no matter what there. Something like that, huh? Uh, Let me. Where does this come? Oh, this one. Oh, never mind. Let me see. Okay. Um. Hmm. That's not gonna work. Feels like that's the play right there, but... Um... Let's... Maybe we connect all the way over here instead? Oh, that doesn't look right. Um... What? Am I like crazy? Like, what? Let me see. Let me test something. I don't know. I'm stuck again. This does not continue. Um, there's no way for it to go that way. There's like no way. Hmm. This feels like it goes there. Okay, I guess. Okay. Uh, I got it. Sure. Ultimate Stitch. What is this? Oh, it wants you to. Oh, I don't even like have to do it. I'll do it though, real quick. Let me see. Let's see if I can figure anything out. Um. So I need to connect to here and here. Um. This is the nearest thing over here. Okay, well that's useless. It's not right. There's no point of going there then, unless we manually go here. Oh, wait. Damn, they don't have like an up and what? They don't just have a like normal vertical one? What? Um, well, I mean, isn't this like obvious like that? And then this one has to be here. So this is like this. Hmm. Damn, maybe I just... This one looks tougher than the other one. Feels like it goes like that. It makes me want to believe, like, to just do this. But what is the point of this? There's no way to... What? Yeah, there's like... This one's harder than the other one, in my opinion. Um... Hmm. Interesting. How are you supposed to... I mean... Let me see. There's not a lot of vertical pieces in this one. There really isn't. What? I'm already, like, stuck. Yeah, there's, like, nothing. I have, like, no vertical pieces. Because if I'm trying to go over here, I mean, what's... No. And then I'm missing a vertical piece for this. Okay. Hmm. Um, yeah, this is definitely something. I don't even know if I'm gonna like do this one. Nah, this is not. What? I don't see it. I give up. Like I actually give up. Anyway, that's gonna do it. I I mean, I could sit here for like 30 minutes, and that's probably like how long it'd take me to like figure it out. I'm not gonna do that though. Um, and it keeps it the same too. This is what I'll do. Let me see. I'm gonna like look it up real quick and see what is this called? I'm cheating. Let's see how you do it. Especially since like you don't even have to play it. Oh yeah, they already solved it. Oh, I see it. So you're supposed to like go, you're not supposed to go like this and whatnot. So that like kind of gave me like a clue. Like when you do this and you do this gives you a clue. So it's the opposite down here. So if you want it to be the other way around, you just do this. You literally have to go the other way. What is it, like this? Yeah, like that. And then, damn, you have to like, I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of like horizontal pieces. And I was right about this stuff at least. I don't feel bad about that. I was getting that. This was like that, and I was right on this. Hmm. But yeah, they wanted you to like do that and like do this. And then that makes sense doing that. Yeah, I would not have been able to solve that. At least not right away. I cheated though. Feels bad, man. That's a crazy board though, I don't blame you. Who got the answers? I could link the the ultimate one, but the other answers are pretty straightforward. I did those all myself. I didn't look that up. But yeah, that is going to do it for um Corvus's story, her event story, her survey, and the little mini games that accompany her, like accompany it. Uh, her story was okay. It was good. I mean, I always say that it's good, but uh, I mean, I followed it and whatnot. I feel like like this time around, I wasn't as engaged in the story Maybe it's because I'm tired or something. I mean, heck, I guess I am because I keep freaking yawning. But yeah, I mean, it was cool to like see like uh I think I really wanted to know how like she got her scars and whatnot. Didn't really answer that question for her, but I mean, it answered it like for everybody else though, right? Which is crazy. I mean, in a sense, I guess it does answer it. I mean, she could have like, stitched herself up and whatnot with her magic. All right. Okay, well, let me. The game just reset. Uh, but yeah, she basically stitched herself up with her magic and whatnot, and I guess if like that's how she's, you know. But yeah, I thought it was interesting how like how she was like, you know, it showed her like um how she was with the platoon and like the guerrillas and whatnot, and like how she came to know or memorize she like sewed them up so much she like came to like remember them by their body parts. I was like, wow, okay. um but yeah, seeing like, I don't know, and then when the leader kind of just, I guess she fucking died, man. She got burnt up, or she got like caught in an explosion or something, and that was kind of brutal to imagine and whatnot. But and then seeing her be able to meet Pyros and whatnot was interesting. I kind of forgot about that, you know. I'm glad they showed it though. Um, but yeah, I completely like it, you know, left my mind about that. That they had met before. Um, but yeah, it was interesting. Probably not one of my favorites, to be honest. Um, I still like Corvus, the character, and whatnot. Her gameplay seems really cool, even though it seems like she's gonna be mainly be used in Main's Bulletin. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to. I think that about does it. I'd probably give the story like maybe like I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. I don't know. I wasn't as engaged with this one for some reason. Uh, Either like a 7 or an 8. I right now, maybe because I'm tired, I'm like leaning towards like a 7. But yeah, I probably would give it like a 7. I wish the ending was better too. I don't know. It feels like, I don't know. It didn't hit me the right way. The ending. Um, it would have been cool to see like how she met the other girl and whatnot that she always cared for on the train as well. That would have been interesting, but it didn't. Um, but yeah, I think that about does it, man. I guess without like taking too much time, I'd probably give it like, yeah, like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, those are my thoughts and whatnot. If you guys got this far in the video, appreciate you guys chilling and hanging out. That is gonna do it. I'm gonna wrap it. Let's wrap this up. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, did you guys end up summoning for Corvus? I tried one multi and yeah, nothing. I'm gonna end up saving for Beryl, Broom, and hopefully I could get Marsha and Igor Those are my character goals. Let me know your, your plans and whatnot. Are you going for Corvus? Did you like Corvus's story? Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and I will catch you guys on the next one. That is.